If you have ever called your cat's name and had them look back at you blankly, you have probably found yourself wondering, do cats understand words? This is a familiar occurrence for most cat owners. Often, we are left wondering if our feline family members understand us at all. As it turns out, cats really do understand us, but not in the same way that we do. So, let's dive a bit deeper into how cats interpret language, so you can better understand how to really communicate with your cat. Do cats understand words? Cats do not have the cognitive skills to interpret human language. However, they are able to recognize when you're talking to them. Think of it this way: cats understand human language in the same way we understand meowing. We know when cats are talking to us and can recognize certain tones or calls. However, we don't know for sure what they are saying to us. Cats are able to recognize and respond to human voices as well as gestures and expressions. Well, only if they choose to, of course. Scientists have made some interesting discoveries about the feline brain and cat behavior in recent years. We are, however, still only scratching the surface. In an article published by Animal Cognition, researchers discussed their findings from a study looking at whether cats respond when owners call their names. In this study, the researchers played 3 different human voices while their owners were out of the room. They found that the cats responded with orienting behavior, head and ear movements, rather than communicative behavior. This was the same even with the cat's owners. What they found was that most cats responded with a lower magnitude to the third voice than the first. Their response increased again to the voice of their owner. This tells us that cats are able to distinguish between humans using vocal cues. It's fascinating stuff and gives us valuable information on how cats respond to our voices. Do cats know their names? A new study was conducted by the same scientists who made the discovery that cats are able to distinguish between human voices. In it, they found that cats respond more strongly to their own names than to other words. Researchers found that when neutral nouns were played for the cats, they did not respond. This is known as habituation. However, at the sound of their own names, the cats responded with orienting behavior, head and ear movements. This was so regardless of whether their name was called by their owner or a stranger. It makes sense that cats respond to their name. This is because it often results in a positive outcome, such as food or playtime. Neutral nouns tend to have no benefit or punishment, so cats will ignore these. This fascinating study shows us that cats are able to discriminate between the content of human sounds based on phonemic differences. Of course, this research doesn't prove that cats actually understand the concept of a name or any other words. It simply proves that cats have the capability for associative learning and interpretation of sounds that result in an action, such as reward or punishment. It also doesn't mean your cat will always come when you call. Less than 10% of cats studied actually moved toward the sound, despite responding to it by turning their head and moving their ears. One scientist found that cats are just as good as dogs at learning. However, cats are less keen to demonstrate what they've learned to their owners. Any cat owner will know that our feline family members are highly independent. They simply haven't been domesticated to respond to our human orders. How many words do cats understand? It is thought that cats understand around 20 to 40 human words, and some might recognize up to 50. However, it's perhaps more appropriate to say that cats are able to associate and distinguish words rather than understand their meaning. Our feline family members associate words with the tone, action/outcome, and body language when they are connected to feeding, petting, or playtime. The words that are repeated most frequently are the ones our cats are most likely to respond to. How should I communicate with my cat? Although we know that cats don't understand language in the same way we do know that they respond positively to their owners' voices. And while they might not do as we tell them, it's still important to engage in conversation with your cat. Talking to your cat while petting them, feeding them, or at any other time during the day helps to strengthen and reinforce your bond. Although cats don't fully understand us, and we don't know what all their meows mean, no cat owner can deny that chatting with your cat helps create a special relationship and bond. You should always talk in a gentle and positive tone, never harsh. You can also use positive gestures such as smiling. You'll notice your cat pricks their ears up and responds to certain tones and words, especially if they are associated with positive actions such as feeding. While cats might learn to recognize words such as dinner, good boy, or no, The words you use aren't actually as important as the way you speak. If you say no in the same tone as good boy, your cat won't understand. You need to make sure your tone matches the word and keep it consistent. Always reward your pet for positive behavior and responses to commands. With patience and consistency, you absolutely can teach cats to understand and respond to short and easy commands. The use of harsh tones, raised voices, or stern words can quickly be associated with punishment. This is likely to only frighten your cat. If repeated consistently, this can cause your cat stress or even lead them to become frightened of you. Do cats like being talked to? Our feline family members absolutely do enjoy being talked to. You might notice your cat responds positively to your voice by pricking up their ears, lifting their head, meowing, purring, rubbing around you, or headbutting. Your cat should be relaxed and happy to hear your voice. We do know that talking to our cats strengthens the bond that we have with them. Cats are highly intelligent creatures, and while they lack the cognitive ability to understand words and language, they are able to develop responses to certain words through association with certain actions. Scientific research has also proven that cats are able to recognize and respond to their own owner. They can also understand or learn their own names. The way our cats respond varies. Much of it depends on their perception of environmental, facial, and vocal cues. Talking to your cat is very important to strengthen your bond. Through using body language and different tones of voice, your cat will soon learn to associate certain words with outcomes, such as feeding or playtime. Cats have a diverse vocal range of sounds. In fact, they have one of the largest patterns of vocalization of all carnivores. They can express around 100 different phonations as compared to dogs who can only communicate about 10 sounds. Cats communicate between members of their own species and with other species to express how they feel in their own unique way. Researchers have found that the environment plays a crucial part on the vocal behavior, with untamed cats and pet cats vocalizing inversely. Let's review the four most common sounds cats make and decipher their meaning. 1. Meow or meow. Cats make a wide spread of meowing sounds, differing in intensity, length, and frequency, occurring in a wide selection of contexts with an oversized amount of variation accustomed to communicating various messages. Cats tend to direct meows more to humans instead of other cats. Although meows are heard between mother-kitten exchanges, they're rarely heard during domestic cat-cat interactions.
Chat Basics.
7 common cat vocalizations and what they mean. Comments icon. 14 comments on 7 common cat vocalizations and what they mean. Calendar icon April 11, 2024. Avatar photo. Written by Melina Grin. Share. Email Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Image of cat vocalizations. Cats have a diverse vocal range of sounds. In fact, they have one of the largest patterns of vocalization of all carnivores. They can express around 100 different phonations as compared to dogs who can only communicate about 10 sounds. Cats communicate between members of their own species and with other species to express how they feel in their own unique way. Researchers have found that the environment plays a crucial part on the vocal behavior, with untamed cats and pet cats vocalizing inversely. Let's review the four most common sounds cats make and decipher their meaning. Vocal communication. Despite the pet cat being a solitary species, domestication has led to several social and behavioral changes with the flexibility to cohabitate plus communicate to suit the cat's needs. Verbal communication is distinguished by 4 categories: agonistic exchanges, sexual interplay, queen-kitten interactions, cat-human conversations. In one study, vocalizations were categorized as murmur, vowel, and strained intensity patterns, while in another study, researchers separated cat sounds into closed mouth, fixed open mouth, and sounds produced with the open mouth steadily closed. Distinctions have also been seen between pet cats and feral cats, with domesticated cats' vocalization of higher frequency but shorter length during exchanges with humans, including more communication with people. List of vocalizations made by cats.
Cat vocalizations.
The most common vocalizations made by cats and their meaning are: 1. Meow or meow. Cats make a wide spread of meowing sounds, differing in intensity, length, and frequency, occurring in a wide selection of contexts with an oversized amount of variation accustomed to communicating various messages. Cats tend to direct meows more to humans instead of other cats. Although meows are heard between mother-kitten exchanges, they're rarely heard during domestic cat-cat interactions. The function of the meow is commonly solicitation, greeting, attention, food-related, or when a kitten is separated from the queen. If the meow motivation is frustration, not having the ability to gain access outdoors or obtain food, the meow may be longer and more frequent. 2. Purr. Purring is the most recognized murmur sound with one among all-time low-pitched tones made by felines. Purring is produced by muscular narrowing of the laryngeal muscle when the mouth is closed for the duration of respiration. It will be heard both during inhalation and exhalation, giving it a rhythmic feature which will be continued for extended periods. Felines can adjust the volume at which they purr, depending on their emotional intensity. The most foremost changeable is the purr volume between individuals, with some purring at hardly audible levels whilst other purring loudly, keeping owners awake nighttime. Cats purr in many situations, both positive and negative contexts. Queens purr whilst nursing kittens, while kittens purr during nursing sessions. Cats also purr when resting or rubbing alongside a feline companion, when greeting their owners, and when being stroked or groomed on an owner's lap. It's thought in such instances purring communicates contentment. Veterinarians and pet parents have noticed that certain cats purr when they're in pain, and a few have seen queens purr during labor. There isn't sufficient evidence to conclude the function of purring during negative contexts. However, it's likely that purring in such situations have likelihood of self-healing functions and pain relief. 3. Trill/chirrup. The trill's function is to communicate greeting, getting attention, and inciting friendly interactions with other cats. The chirrup form of the trill is used by the queen to call her kittens, however, also happens between adult cats. Trills and chirrup are directed towards people and appears along with meowing. The chirp high-pitched sound has also been thought to mimic bird or rodent chirp to entice prey. 4. Chatter/chitter. Cat chatter occurs when a cat is viewing prey that's unattainable. It's usually directed towards birds, but may be targeted towards other prey and even toys. The clicking sound is produced in sequences with the jaw and a tensely open mouth. No one is certain the true function of this behavior. However, there are few theories comprised of signs of conflict of frustration in attaining prey capture anticipation, impersonation of prey vocalizations, and therefore the kill-bite theory. 5. Hiss. The hiss is identifiable because of its distinct sound. The hiss is a lengthy exhalation produced while a cat's mouth is wide open with teeth exposed. There's slight variation between cats in the hiss sound made in comparison to meows, yowls, and shrieks. The hiss sound is made in agonistic situations or defensive encounters to warn others and accompanied by changes to body posture. 6. Snarl. The snarl sound happens during a fast inhalation. The phonation is harsh, loud, high-pitched vocalization produced with open mouth generally during active aggression or when in pain. Snarls likewise employed in offensive and defensive interactions, both between cats and towards other animals to frighten or intimidate an enemy. 7. Shriek. When a cat shrieks, it communicates intense negative emotion like fear and/or pain. If the threat intensifies by moving nearer, a feline may emanate a sudden loud shriek to startle the opponent and allow the cat a fast escape or attack. Pain shrieks are short, intense cries of tense vowels depicted by a great strain of mouth plus throat and therefore the force of breath. Cats are great communicators, and if we pay close attention to their vocalization, body language, and facial expressions, we'll realize they're trying to converse with us and convey vital information about their overall health and well-being.